Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've sat down and talked to you guys because I took a little break from Bookmas, but I am here today to talk about my reading journal. As you guys can see from the title below, we're gonna have a few parts in this reading journal. I'm gonna run through my 2023 reading journal with you guys, and then we're gonna set up our 2024 reading journal. I'm gonna talk about my supplies, what I use, how I set it up, and I'll show you guys all the spreads. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. It's gonna be a little bit of a long one, I'm pretty sure, so hang on tight and let's just roll with it. I'll have timestamps in the description box so you guys can jump to each section pretty easily. Maybe you guys want to look at my 2023 setup, which is fine. So I'll have timestamps in the bottom for you guys. But the first thing we're going to do before we even start the 2024 setup is to run through my 2023 reading journal. This year was the first year that I did a reading journal, but it wasn't my first time journaling. I've been bullet journaling regularly since 2021, I'm pretty sure. I think around the pandemic I started journaling. I do have lots of bullet journals for those years. Ta-da. Wow. I think back then I was a big K-pop fan, so most of these spreads are like K-pop related. Wow, I was so dedicated. What year was this? Yeah, 2021. Since this year was my first time doing a reading journal, I got to experience kind of things that worked for me and things that didn't work for me. So I wanted to run through my 2023 journal just to show you guys what worked and what didn't. Journaling is very individual to what you like. So what you do might not work for other people, and what other people do might work for you. So it really depends on you as a person. I'm gonna show you guys my 2023 journal first. I used the A6 6-ring binder. So what it is that there are 6 holes on the side here, and I use a binder. Where is my binder? And I use this kind of binder because if I ever want to add pages or delete pages, it's really easy. So that's why I decided to use the 6-ring binder. This is also my first year doing this, and I feel like this really worked, so we're doing it again. I did mix my reading journal with my bullet journal, and I felt like that was a total mistake. So for 2024, I am separating them. We're gonna do a separate reading journal. Hopefully you guys can see this, but I have two cameras here. One is my phone and one is the camera there. Anyway, I'm gonna show you guys. This has my bullet journal as well, so I don't really want to show too much. The first I have is a year in review, and I barely use this one. If you guys can see, I did put some on the left side, but on the right side, especially the latter half of the year, barely did anything. And then I put in my 2022 books because I started reading in the latter half of 2022. And then I have the books I read, bookshelf type of thing. If you guys see a lot of reading journals, they like to do this for the reading log, but if you guys can also see, I barely kept up with it. So I'm doing a different type in 2024. Empty page, and then I have a Hall of Fame. I didn't update at all. Another thing that I changed this year was something to do with the pasting for the covers. I also have a book bracket that I didn't update as well. You slowly get to the end, and the end is like your favorite book of the year. But I already know what my favorite book of the year is. And then we have a book series tracker that I also did not really update. It's kind of updated because I have the naturals on here, but it's not very updated. Next we have books to read. This is like TBR, but I don't think I'm gonna do this again this year. I didn't update this at all. And then I have a reading bucket list. I also did not really update this because there's some that I read Book Turned to Movie, I read No Romance, I read Asian Author, but I did not really update it. And then we have an A to Z, also not updated. And then now we're into the January spread. So if you guys can see, it's kind of like bullet journal style because there are these monthly little things, and there's also the habit trackers, but I'm gonna skip through the weekly spreads because it's kind of private. And then let's jump into my January reads. Sorry, this page is also private. This is my first time doing like a book review type of spread, so I didn't know what to do, and I just did a very basic one. I like this though. I like this. I'm gonna incorporate this in the new year. You guys will see that. And then let's jump into February. So in February, I decided to do this little thing, like a library card type of thing, but you guys will see that slowly disappear because it didn't work. And then we're skipping through the weekly spreads, and this is the February month. I did stats on top, and then we did like book reviews like this. Another bookmark thing. This one basically has like pages read each day, but the math got difficult, got a bit lazier, so it's just like this. And then April, The bookmark disappeared. It's just, also I didn't really mention this, but basically the way I journal this year was to do a scrapbooking style. I realized that I'm not really good with writing. My writing is very ugly and I don't like seeing it. So I also do stencil stamps. I'll show it to you guys when we talk about our supplies. Skipping through the week again. And then, ta-da, another book review style like this that I think kind of worked, and also the envelope style for stats. I really like this. But then I got lazy. So I need to like, we're changing this up. This is not gonna happen in the next year. And then if you guys can see, I didn't update the pages for the month of May. So this slowly disappeared. You slowly will not be seeing this. Skipping through the week. This is my book review for May. I think I was pretty updated for May, but I didn't do stats. So that was empty. And then June, completely empty. Wow, I didn't write anything on here. Just one. Okay, well, I got lazy. That was it. No book reviews whatsoever for the month of June. And then we go to July, just the front spread. And then no, oh, we do have a wrap up, never mind. July, we have a wrap up, but I didn't really do much like review talking about the books. No stats, just pictures and the stars. And then for August, nothing. I didn't even have like a front page thing. It was just like weekly spreads, and even then I basically did not update it at all, and that's all we have. I didn't do October, I didn't do September, I didn't do November, because I did mix the reading journal with my bullet journal, and so it got a little bit stressful. Doing a spread is not as easy and not as quick as you guys may think, and so I decided to forego the bullet journal and just do a reading journal, and you guys will see now as I talk about my 2024 reading journal, what I'm gonna do differently, and all of my supplies. I also want to show you guys a little flip through of my little aesthetic spreads. Where the heck are they though? I didn't do much updating when it came to book reviews and such, but I did do these really pretty type of spreads. And just do book reviews, I actually did these kind of spreads. These are scrapbooking, kind of like favorite book spreads. So I have some from 2022 and then the rest are 2023. So Akatar is 2022. Six of Crows was 2022. This one also was 2022. Mortal Instruments. I actually read this a long time ago. It was before I started making book videos, but I wanted to do a spread to commemorate me reading Mortal Instruments. And then The Inheritance Game. So if you guys can see, I do love the scrapbooking style, and I really liked doing this. And then we move on to, I'm pretty sure, 2023 year. It's a little bit mixed up, if you guys want to know. It's a little bit mixed up, but I have Icebreakers, The Servant and the Wings of Night, The 7-Year Slip, Part of Your World, and yes, this is supposed to be in front, but I had like an empty page. Then we have The Last Hour series. This is 2 pages. This is Binding 13. This is also kind of newly created. And then we have Happy Place. What is this? Oh, this is Magnolia Parks. I did one for Daisy and Christian, and then this is for Magnolia and BJ. I'm supposed to do Magnolia Parks here in stencil, but I forgot to put it in. I have the Addicted series. I have one for the couples here, and here's like the Core 6 and the Calloway Sisters. And a lot of these photos I found on Pinterest, by the way. So all props go to Pinterest. Whoever took these photos, thank you so much, but they're really good. Some of these I screenshotted from like online PDFs. Powerless, Peyton and Kai. Oh, I love this spread too. It was so good. Sorcery of Thorns. And the last one on this back, it's just my trip to Korea. I did a little spread. It was really fun. Now that we're done with the portion of the 2023 flip through, let's talk about supplies. So I want to quickly run through this. Because we do the 6-ring binder, we need papers. Plain white 6-ring binder papers over here. This is completely plain. You'll see why I have a plain one, and then I have a dotted one. I used to use grid one. It doesn't really matter. It's in the A5 size, by the way. I also have these decorative ones. They're the same size. I don't know why, but last year the ones I got, they're a different size. Because I do not write that often. If I do write, I use my Muji pen, my gel pen. It's the same with my annotating supplies. I have a cutter in here for cutting, and then I have an eraser and one pencil. These are like the drawers under my table, by the way. I also have washi tape and some little tiny stickers over here. 3 of these. And then I also have a drawer for like scrap paper, because I do scrapbooking a lot. These are like translucent paper, and then I have their glue. They work super well when it comes to taping for scrapbooking. And then I have my stickers that I put in like a little pouch like this that I can put inside the binder, but apparently it got so thick that I can't put in the binder, but it has like holes. For the 6-ring binder, I have these babies. They're so pretty. Little cute ones like this. I use a variety of stickers. I have to have like some ready on hand. Every time I go overseas, I always get stickers. I have one more pouch of them. They're like the more neutral stickers. They're neutral colors such as white and brown. I have like a whole basket of my papers because I scrapbook, so I need paper for scrapbooking. These are craft colored, and then there are like little writings in front. This is white. Flowers, not sure, but they work. Main ones over here. I recently bought A4 craft paper. Where are they? A4 craft paper. Just like plain craft paper like this. And you guys will see why I got them. Our stamps, I have one like this right here. They're kind of cute. I used these for the addicted spreads just now. And then I have my letter stamps. I love these. They are my lifesaver. Because I cannot write and I cannot do cursive, these really help. And they make my spreads look just so much more aesthetic. Black stamp. I also have some waxy candles. I've never used it before though. Wax candle style. I have more stamps. Another little ink pot. It's golden color. It's really pretty. I have lots of supplies in here. I also have more little tiny stickers in this thing. These are photo stock, but they're sticker styles. I have in pink and orange. Yeah, these are just stickers and more stickers. They're all for scrapbooking and for doing my journals. The last thing that I recently got is paper, but this is sticker paper. So the difference is that I used to print my pictures on A4 paper, used that glue tape thing to tape them on. I printed a heck ton of these little to paste because I'm gonna do a spread later that I need these. They have the backing at the back, so all you need to do is cut them. But you don't need to tape because they come off like sticker. Life-saving, you guys have no idea. If you want to start journaling, like reading journals, they really help. Just getting the sticker paper, they really help. Pretty sure those are the only ones that I use. And now let us do a tiny bit of setting up for my 2024 reading journal. Okay, so I decided to do a voiceover for this part because I realized that I was mumbling a lot, and so I decided to just do a voiceover. I was very focused on doing the spreads, which is why I was mumbling a lot. I am currently doing my title page, and this is going to be the first page. I decided to use the decorative paper instead of the dotted paper and the blank paper, and right now I am just picking out my stickers to do on the title page. I decided to go for a bluer theme for my title page. And if you guys can see, I have my stickers and my craft paper just right next to me so that I can get them if I want to use them. What I do when I first make my spreads is that I take whatever stickers of the same color out just so I can have a clear view of what supplies I have. And then I start putting them on the page, and I don't stick them down first. I try my best to at least have a clear picture of what I want the spread to look like. And I also have a lot of washi tapes. I took out 2 of my favorite ones, which are the black and the white grid washi tapes. Right now I am tearing up the craft paper as my base of this title page. It's usually not a pretty tear, just very random trapezium-like tears, and then I start compiling everything on the page. The idea behind this is that you're supposed to just play around with whatever supplies you have and just be creative. Don't be afraid to try out new looks, new composition. What you think might not look good might actually look good. I always mix things up. I try my best to look for inspo on Pinterest as well. What I ended up with didn't look like this, but I still really liked how this all turned out, and I had a lot of fun trying my best to play around with the stickers. So here's a time lapse of me sticking everything down onto the paper, and as you guys can see, it doesn't look like whatever I thought I had in mind, but it's okay. I still really liked however this turned out, and I had a lot of fun playing around with my composition. And then I started stamping down Vivian's reading journal onto the blank parts of the page, and I really liked how everything turned out. Now we're gonna move on to the next part of this journal, which is going to be the reading log. And you guys can see it is half done. If I did everything on camera, it would take such a long time. So I decided to do a little bit first and then show you guys how I do it. If you guys watched through my 2023 reading journal, you guys will know that I really like this envelope style. So I decided to do this way with the reading log, and I really liked how this turned out. And yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how I do the other 4 because I'm supposed to have 12 and I only have done 8. So I take craft paper and I fold it into half, and then I fold that half into another half. I don't know the exact measurements, but I know that one A4 paper can make 8 of these envelopes. It is 5.25 in width because one A4 paper is 21 centimeters, and that divided by 4 is 5.25, but I don't know the height. I cut the paper up and I'm left with 2 long strips, and then from those 2 long strips I cut that to half, so I'm left with 4 pieces of paper. I took out my A5 cutting mat so that it's easier to pick up scraps of paper, or if I need to use it for measuring, it's easier. And then this is the part where you have to freehand a little bit. I cut off around 0.7 to 1 centimeters off of the paper, and then I cut another of the same width on the front, so it can be like a little envelope, as you guys can see from here. I then opened the paper up and I cut off around 0.5 centimeters from the fold on each side, as you guys can see, and that's going to fold in so that I can paste the 2 sides together, as you guys can see from the screen. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining this well enough, but at least there's a visual. You know, I proceeded to cut off a little bit off the top of the folded edges because I wanted a little bit popping out when I fold the envelope, and it's also because I folded in the longer side of the paper and not the side that I cut off the extra centimeter off. I then glue the cut edges and I fold the paper together to make an envelope, and I also make sure to also tape the excess paper, and that is to ensure that the envelope is more secure. I also make sure to curve the edges so that it's not sharp and it won't hurt my hand. I repeated the same process 3 more times, and I know it's really time consuming, but I really like how this all ended up, so I'm very happy that I did this. We're now going to cut up the paper that is going to go inside the envelope. The exact measurements for this is 3.7 centimeters in width and 6 centimeters in height. I know it's a random 3.7, but the width of the envelope ended up being 4 centimeters, and I need a little bit of space so that it doesn't crinkle when it's inside the envelope. And also the paper I'm using is 260 GSM carton paper. You guys can use regular paper, but also I don't want it to crinkle, so I'm using a thicker one. I do recommend a thicker paper, but regular paper still works. After cutting the pieces of paper up, I test to see if they fit inside the envelope before I continue on with my next steps. And with this, I need my cutting mat once again, and this is not used for cutting, but for the centimeters that are on the sides, as you guys can see. It just ensures that my lines are actually parallel, and it's easy to do all 4 of them together instead of doing it one by one. I first draw a straight black line on top of the paper with my Muji gel pen, and then I take my gray highlighter and I start drawing gray lines with every 0.5 centimeter, as you guys can see. So it's a white line, and then it's a gray line, and then it's a white line, and it's a gray line, and these are my fake lines so that I can write my books down on these lines. So we're gonna do my 2023 5-star reads spread next, and I did cut up all of my book covers. I cut them up, but they're now super easy to put on because they have sticker at the back. So I'm using the back of the reading log that I did, and I also did a little bit more decorating with the reading log. It doesn't look very empty. But yeah, I'm just doing it on the back here, and I'm gonna do 5 by 5. So I'm just gonna focus on pasting them.
If we could run it, if we could run it back, and do you wonder? If we could run it back, if we could run it, if we could run it back, and do you wonder? If we could run it back. I didn't know I had to get out down the road inside of the same old, caught in the circles round they go. It's hard when you keep close, rewind with my eyes closed. I need a breather, got lost in the B-roll.
Hours since my last update. I did a few spreads without filming it because I was talking to my friend and I was bored, so I was doing spreads while talking to my friend on the phone. Forgot to film them, so I'm gonna quickly talk about them. It's not a lot. I think I only did 2. But as you guys remembered, we did the reading log, and then we did the 5 stars in 2023 and 24 in 2024. Did I film these? And they look beautiful. After that, I did a Hall of Fame, and you guys saw this a little bit. I'm pretty sure I filmed it, but I botched it, so now we have another piece on top. I fixed it. This is the right one. I botched it twice, and then I made a new releases page, so I didn't film at all. January to December, the new releases over here, and you basically write down the new releases. I have a few done already. And then on the flip side, I did a series tracker. So if you guys can see, they're pretty plain. I just keep my spreads as plain as possible because if it's too loud, I feel a bit lazy filling them in. So this is my tracker. I have filled in a few series. I also have not done the stencil here, so we can do it together. And then I have another page for it, so it's gonna be like this. Then now on this flip side, I want to make a Kindle books concept with the new releases with these squares. So I thought of doing it a little bit differently because I wanted to, you know, spice up the spreads. And I think I'm just going to use craft paper and use these as boxes. And then for the little title page of the Kindle books, I'm going to use this craft paper. Does that even make any sense? I feel like I'm talking gibberish at this point.
I need a breather. Get lost in the B-roll. Let all the window to learn how the world goes. We didn't know how to move on. If we could run it, if we could run it back into.
I have pasted everything on here, and now I'm gonna just stamp on the month on each little box. Filming this, it is actually currently 12 a.m. and it's been a while since I've actually continued on with my reading journal, but I don't know if I actually showed you guys this, but I did make this spread. For this spread, I'm just going to be writing down the books that I read on my Kindle. I also made this spread. This is the book Bingo, and what I really like about this spread is that it is a flippy thingy. I'm going to be writing the prompts here, and then the book that correlates the prompt, I'm going to be putting it on here. But now I'm just going to start with my monthly cover page for January. So I made this off camera. I just used my little stamps to do the lettering, and then I used the brown craft paper that I've been using this whole video. I then completely botched this page, although you can't really see it. I made 6 lines. I made 6 weeks in a month, and it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I didn't realize that I was wrong until the end, but I redid this whole spread off camera because I was just so pissed off by the fact that I actually didn't realize that I botched this whole spread. So yeah. Hello, I'm back. I fixed the calendar and I also changed it up a little bit. There's still movable parts, but I think this is what I'm going to do with the top area for this. And then for the bottom part, this empty space, I'm going to do my January TBR. I want to do January TBR written here, and then we can write down the books here. I got this idea from Monica Bibliophile by Night, and she basically tracks the books that she reads on this calendar. I'll try to insert a screenshot of her reading journal. It's really smart and it's really cute, and I want to do the same thing, so I'm gonna do that. We're gonna write January TBR here. I've been using the stamps, but I think this time I'm gonna do writing. I actually really hate my cursive, which is why if you guys haven't seen me do cursive, is because I really don't like the way I do cursive. You just gotta do what you gotta do. I need to fill in the books here, but I do not have the books yet, so we're not going to be filling this in. I'm going to add a few stickers. I'm happy with how this looks, so I'm gonna keep it like this. Now that we're done with all the spreads, I'm gonna do a final flip through of my reading journal and show you guys the template that I've made for my book reviews. I'm gonna do a quick, just like rapid fire one because you guys saw me do all of these spreads. This is my cover page, and then we have the reading log section. And then we have my 5 stars in 2023, Hall of Fame. I'm going to put my favorite books of the month in here. And then we have a 24 and 2024. These are new releases that I'm going to be filling up pretty soon. Series tracker, I made 2 spreads because I know I won't be able to just use one. So I'm going to hopefully fill this in with a lot of series soon. Next, we have Kindle book. I'm going to insert all of the Kindle reads in here and then a book bingo. I'm going to put prompts in here, but I'll probably do that later on. And then we have my January cover page. Now, this is where things get a little bit exciting. In my previous reading journal, I did such a bad job with keeping track of the books that I read. But in this reading journal, I want to be more conscious of reviewing the books I read. So I made a template and printed these onto the A5 ring binder papers, and that's why I bought the plain ones. And I have printed so many. I think in total there are 100 of these, so I am so happy that I have these on hand. All I need to do is just put the picture of the book that I read, and we have some prompts in here to fill in. This is spice rating, and this is like star rating, book title, author, reading status, genres, favorite character, page length, favorite quote, review. I made this template, but if you guys want this, let me know. I'll try to make it downloadable so you guys can also print this template. And then at the end of this are my scrapbooking that I showed you guys in the beginning. We just have a lot of these in here. So yeah, that is it for my reading journal. So that's it for this whole video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me set up my 2024 reading journal. Also, this was so hard to do. I give props to every single journaling YouTuber out there. This was so hard to do. I don't know how you guys do it. It takes so much time, and I just feel like if I do it on my own without filming it, I'm perfectly fine because I can do it in my own time. I can watch something in the background. All those journaling YouTubers, you guys are pros at this. I respect you guys so much. But yeah, that is it for this reading journal situation. I had so much fun making these spreads. I hope you guys had fun watching me make these spreads, even though some of them were not on camera. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It will mean a lot to me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.